Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a truly incredible framework. We're talking about a method designed to condense a massive 10-year objective into just a 6-month time frame. It's a complete rethink of how we handle our time, our productivity, and honestly, our biggest ambitions.
So, how do you achieve a 10-year goal in just 6 months? I know, it sounds totally impossible, maybe even a little absurd. But stick with me here, because we're going to dive into the exact psychological and tactical mechanics that literally rewire your brain for extreme acceleration. There's no magic trick here, just rock solid, established behavioral science.
And the whole system? It actually hinges on a single, surprisingly small number 15. That's it. This number is the absolute key to completely transforming how you approach long-term productivity. We so often think that massive goals require these massive, uninterrupted blocks of time, right? Well, science actually tells a very different story. Let's dive right into Section 1, the invisible target problem, or exactly why decade-long goals fail.
Most of us drop the ball on massive, long-term objectives simply because we manage them entirely in our heads. Think about it. If your goal only lives internally, without any kind of structured physical system pulling it out into reality, it's pretty much impossible to track. By keeping these dreams trapped in our minds, we're creating an invisible target, and, well, you just can't hit a target you can't see.
And here's where our own biology kind of turns against us. Because we can't see that invisible target, and let's face it, massive goals don't exactly offer those immediate, satisfying dopamine hits, our brains default to negativity. It's known as default negativity. Your brain just starts whispering, hey, why are we working so hard for something that's literally years away? It's exactly this inherent discouragement that causes us to throw in the towel on our master plans.
Which brings us to Section 2, rewiring with Hebbian Learning, the science of habit.
Okay, so to beat that biological trap, we need a serious paradigm shift, and we turn to Hebbian learning. This is a super fascinating neurological principle, and it states simply, neurons that fire together wire together. Instead of just crossing our fingers and relying on some fleeting burst of inspiration, we are going to mechanically alter our brain's approach. We're transforming an intimidating, gigantic task into a permanent, undeniable daily habit. The philosophy to anchor all this science is highly visual, and it's simply this: one brick a day. It's all about emphasizing consistent, incremental progress. Look, you aren't trying to build an entire cathedral in a single week. No way. You are just laying one single perfect brick today. Doing this consistently reclaims your control over your time and, crucially, overrides that default negativity we just talked about. Moving on to Section 3, the will versus the way, which is all about motivation versus process. Now, we have to cleanly separate our emotional desire to succeed from the actual mechanical system required to get there. Too often, people think that if they just want something badly enough, if they just have enough will, they'll automatically achieve it. But let's be real. Motivation fades. It always does. You absolutely need the strategic process, the way, to carry you through when your will inevitably takes a nosedive. Think of the will as your internal motivation. It's your why. The way, on the other hand, is your strategic process. It's your external systems, your habits, your tactics. If you're struggling to reach a target right now, this is a brilliant way to self-diagnose. Do you simply lack the internal motivation, or, and honestly, this is far more likely, do you have plenty of will, but you completely lack the external systems, the way, to actually execute it? Now for Section 4, the Hot 15 Rule, your guide to tactical execution. Which brings us right to the tactical solution, your ultimate strategic way. It's called the Hot 15 Rule. Basically, you dedicate a specific, high-intensity 15-minute window every single day to making progress on your goal. It ensures your massive objective doesn't just get lost in the everyday chaos of life. Remember that invisible target problem? Well, this rule yanks that target right out of your head and slams it into physical reality. Now, running a Hot 15 session requires 4 specific operational rules. First, a rigidly focused 15-minute window. Second, you have to prioritize consistency over duration. 15 minutes daily is 1,000 times more powerful than a frantic 3-hour cram session once a month. Third, high intensity, completely undistracted attention. And fourth, daily target visibility. Executing these every single day applies incredible, concentrated pressure to lay that one perfect brick. This brings us to our final piece, Section 5, Olympic-level precision visualization, acting as your mental shield. Okay, but what happens when you sit down and your mind just goes blank? That's where precision visualization comes in. This is a technique actively used by elite Olympic athletes. And to be crystal clear, this is way more than just daydreaming. It's an active, highly tactical tool that acts like a mental shield for your daily 15-minute sessions. It effectively bridges the gap between where you are sitting today and that massive 6-month target.
There are 4 distinct functions at work here. First, it reinforces your progress, making that one brick actually feel meaningful. Second, it helps you maintain laser focus. Third, and I'd argue this is the most crucial, it overrides that dangerous default negativity that's always trying to sabotage you. Finally, it creates incredible synergy with your actions. By the time you sit down to start your Hot 15 timer, your brain is already completely locked on target.
So let's pull all of this together. 10 entire years condensed into just 6 short months. By combining the neurological power of Hebbian learning, cleanly distinguishing your will from your way, and relentlessly applying the Hot 15 rule fortified by precision visualization, you achieve absolutely unprecedented acceleration. You finally stop carrying these heavy goals around in your head, and you start systematically building them in reality. The science and the strategy are now fully in your hands. You've got the exact blueprint to override your brain's natural negativity and completely reclaim your time. So the only question left for you to answer is this. What massive 10-year dream are you going to pull out of your head and start building one brick at a time for just 15 minutes today?